It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, three-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboy. And Dale's sitting back just wondering why, if a kicker can hold out and press for more money for the Cowboys, why he couldn't do it when he was there. Dale Hillestray, everybody.
I couldn't make 70-yard field goals, Steve.
I'm all yelling today. Why am I yelling?
I don't know. Well, because you've been here for a little while.
I'm yelling all of a sudden.
And boy, you
that
got
whole intro on my mind, I'm going, why am I yelling?
You are a different guy when you get here before the show and do another show.
Yeah, you got to get up, get the show ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
I don't see any Chick-fil-A.
No, because Chick-fil-A doesn't open until 6, so I have to settle for McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
And it's not good. It's not good.
So you're telling me if you have a choice, you're going to take Chick-fil-A?
Oh, every day of the week.
Really?
McDonald's is just, I don't know, maybe it's the one I go to because when we were in El Paso and New Mexico for our trip over the holidays, and did that all sightseeing, we stopped at a McDonald's or two on that trip. And it was a normal size. The one I go to now, it's like everything's smaller. And I don't know, man. It's just, what is happening? I really wanted a strawberry banana smoothie this morning, and they were cleaning the machine, so it wasn't available.
Really?
Yeah, I had to go with the Coke. I got to stop drinking soda. It's getting so bad for me. And
everything. Why are they cleaning the machine during business hours?
When you're going to buy a strawberry banana smoothie in the morning, right? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right, Steve.
I know. I can understand, but it's the same machine that does ice mochas and stuff. Again, why?
You would think you'd wait till the afternoon to do that.
5:45 in the morning when I left my house to get here. 5:45 in the morning is when that should probably be up and running. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there, McDonald's.
When the crew shows up, don't they make sure everything's clean?
This one's a 24-hour one.
So,
that makes it even worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, why don't you do that at like 2 in the morning?
Yeah, it's not like they just showed up and they're running late. They're like, all right, clean that machine late. Let's just get everything else going. I know. It's amazing, isn't it? I did have gross McDonald's. It was gross. I actually don't. I don't feel well today. I'm blaming the McDonald's.
You sure it's not the Suns or ASU or?
Oh my goodness! Why'd you bring up the bad stuff?
Well, I'm just wondering. I'm Dr. Dale. I'm trying to find the root of your evils.
It could be Monty talking yesterday at the combine. Could be LaFleur talking at the combine. It could be a lot of stuff on what's happening with me today and everything. So yeah. We are gonna get a little heavy today for a minute, folks. So I'm gonna warn you right now. I have thoughts, and we're gonna get a little heavy today, Dale.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but we'll do that. We won't do that at the beginning. Everybody relax. We'll do it later on and everything. But Seattle Seahawks are doing something that I feel like the NFL should be doing, but not just the NFL. There seems to be an epidemic of something going around, and it needs to stop. And I don't know how to do it. I'm not smart enough to do it, but we got to figure it out. So we'll get into that here in a little bit. We're not going to spend a ton of time on it. But something happened yesterday that just makes it more prevalent out there as well.
So the Seahawks are doing it, or they're not doing it?
No, they are doing it.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing it. They came out and made an announcement. Of course, they're being sold right now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. It's a heavy subject. It's not a sports. It's not a fun subject.
Oh.
But we've got to, as a society, figure out, how to solve these issues out there. So we'll get into that coming up here. We're gonna get serious for a little bit today, folks. Look, I know we don't do that too often.
Well, what is not serious out there? Suns, serious.
No, that's not even serious anymore. That's become a joke, Dale.
ASU, serious.
Joke. Okay. Let's start with the ASU. Because this is relevant on my mind. I turned this game off last night. It's State of the Union, which if you don't know me, you don't know my political beliefs. I don't care what yours are. Don't care what mine are, whatever. I won't ever argue about it. You have your opinions, whatever. I'll have mine. We'll move on with our lives. I just don't, it's fine. But the thing that cracks me up about State of the Union with President Trump is literally, he's literally like, we're going to give ice cream free to all kids. And the Democrats just sit there looking all miserable. He's like, he's all, we're going to make sure there's sunshine 24 hours a day for everybody to just enjoy the daytime and frolic in the weather. We're going to stop snowstorms. And now Democrats just sit there all, It cracks me up. At that. That's the stuff that I enjoy watching. It's like no matter what amazing thing, and then the hockey team comes out and he goes, "Oh, you guys can stand." It's so great. But anyway, that's my political rant today is, for the love of God, you look miserable. Stop looking miserable all the time, man. It cracks me up. But Dale, that was my thing there. But then I have the ASU game on, I have the Suns game on and everything, and I turned the ASU game off for one specific reason.
Oh.
Y'all know I'm tired of Bobby Hurley, right? Like, I made that clear on here. I've been tired of him for a couple years. Just the red face, the constantly yelling. Now he does this thing where he points at people like this when he's mad, and his face gets all red, and he's all, and he shakes. I can't handle it, Dale. It drives me nuts. Like, if you did that to me, I'd probably shoving you backwards to get you out of my face or something. Like, what is happening right now? And it drives me, I can't handle it. It makes me angry sitting on the couch. How does Graham Rossini not just bust into that locker room and be like, "Look, clown, I'm tired of it. We're all tired of it." But then it's even more embarrassing, Dale. Did you see this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
A skirmish breaks out on the bench here between TCU and ASU last night. Bobby Hurley falls down.
Oh, no.
And he gets up and he's just yelling. I don't even think he knows what he's yelling about. He's just yelling because he fell down. A TCU coach picks him up, Dale, and helps him up in the middle of this scrum. He just like leans down, picks him up. Whoop, Bobby's back on his feet. And then he just starts pointing and turning red and yelling at everybody. I don't even think he knows what he was yelling about. It's just embarrassing. It's an embarrassment to ASU fans that this keeps continuing to happen. It's an embarrassment. So that's my description of what happened, Dale. Do you think I'm making it up?
Well, would it have helped if they won 90-78?
No, it's embarrassing.
It's not a good look. And we've said that now for a couple years.
So that's my description of what happened.
Yeah.
You guys tell me if I'm being incorrect in this description. Now, this is like a 2-minute long clip here because it's a bunch of replays, and then they actually break it down. Bobby Hurley was helped up by the opposing coach. He probably tripped over somebody's feet because a lot was going on, and he fell down. But a TCU coach picked him up instantly. It wasn't like they left him down there, anything like that. It's just like, dude, you got helped up right away, man. What are you doing? Yelling at officials like this and turning beet red and you MFers. Okay, so you've heard my description. Tell me if I'm being incorrect on this. 2-minute video. Let's play it. Bobby Hurley. Well, the whole incident last night. Bobby Hurley and TCU.
Bob nicknamed him Pig.
Yeah, here's the diamond, the 1-2-1-1 trap.
Forces TCU to call a timeout. We got some shoving going on. Micah Robinson comes over late. That's a tough spot to have a pile of players.
And TCU, you do not want your players to leave the bench.
When Bobby Hurley goes to the ground, he's not going to be happy about that. I don't know if he was pulled to the ground by an assistant coach for TCU
Wait till you
or
see
what.
the replay. Look at him.
They better be careful.
TCU is just walking off. Dale, look at this. TCU's walking off. They're pulling all their guys out of there carefully and everything. ASU's the team flipping out about everything.
Well, the officials are going to review this because there was a lot of extra contact that took place that should not have taken place.
There it is.
I'm not sure how Bobby got to the floor, but that shouldn't happen. And Diallo, who has been hurt since the New Orleans game.
All right, here come the replays.
So here's the trap.
Okay, Dale, I do have a problem with this. I have no problem with this. This is just nonsense.
Ford and Harding went at it initially. They had to be separated.
Why is this guy sitting on the
Truitt
bench
came
doing
over
this
to
nonsense to escalate?
Yeah, but in comes Micah Robinson.
Yeah, because Harding started to jaw also with one of the
See, look, Bobby Hurley's pushing
players.
a TCU player back.
And then one of the assistant coaches comes
Why is he
over
doing
to grab
that?
his guys.
There's Diallo with the ski
23's
cap
got
on.
a problem with being pushed back by Coach
So
Hurley.
Bobby has to be restrained, as Jamie Dixon says
As a
something to
coach,
him.
you don't do that. The other
And then
team's
somehow Bobby
coaches
winds
pull
up
their
on the
players back.
ground.
But here comes
Jamie
the replay
Dixon,
I'm talking about. Here we
Diallo.
go. Bobby
He's
Hurley
wearing
goes
the ski
down.
cap.
Bobby
And then
down.
Bobby looked
Look at
like
this.
he tripped over somebody.
Just pick him up, Dale.
and then
That's a TCU
Coach
coach.
Tony Benford looked like he was trying to help him back up.
Everybody
Right,
was
that's
helping
his-
him up.
yep.
He's surrounded by TCU people. Look at him. Now he has to be held
And
back
again,
by ASU
There's
players.
a lot of
Dale,
traffic in that area.
I'm tired of it. I am tired of the nonsense. Can we get an adult in the building over there at ASU's men's basketball program? Can we get an adult in there? He has to be held back by ASU players because he tripped after pushing a TCU player back, and he trips on his own over somebody's feet and gets helped up. There's 6 TCU coaches around him. He's just looking up and seeing all purple. And a guy leans down and picks him up, puts him back on his feet like he's a rag doll or something, by the way. Did you see that? Like there was no effort picking Bobby Hurley up there. And then he's got to be held back by 7 ASU players, Dale. What are we doing? Why is he even allowed to be on the sideline anymore? Let's get rid of this nonsense immediately. It's embarrassing, Dale.
Don't you think Graham is counting down the days?
Oh my God. What does it matter if it's today or it's next week? Then he's standing there with the refs afterwards. I wish I could get Kobe, do something with my face to make it be red. What is happening right now? His players started it. His players escalated it. The other players were leaving the situation and the coaches had it all handled. Who's the guy escalating it at that point? Bobby freaking Hurley's out there with his fingers and being held back. Nobody else is being held back by 7 players except for Bobby Hurley. They're just an absolute embarrassment, Dale. So did I describe it accurately before we played it?
You did. A lot of histrionics, but yes, you did.
Wait, Bobby Hurley's nothing but histrionics. I don't even know what that word means. But that's Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, because that could have gotten very ugly.
Absolutely.
And
And TCU played it down.
Yeah. They got him out of there. No punches were thrown. And you're right. I've never understood these guys who aren't playing or they're injured and they get involved in stuff.
Yeah, I know.
He goes and takes the ball.
Why is the guy on the bench? I don't know
Yeah.
who that is. Why is he grabbing the ball and pulling it out of his hand? And then the TCU guy instantly goes, whoop.
Yeah.
It just has his hands up. And Bobby Hurley's got to push 23 out of there. Who's just in there to help him get his players out. He might have been John. I'm not saying he wasn't John.
Right.
But it's just, that is not a good look, man, for a program. Let me put it this way. Kenny Dillingham loses his mind on the sideline a lot. But have we ever been like, Bobby, not Bobby, Kenny, what are you doing? You're embarrassing.
Well, and like it or not, there's a difference between a football coach and a basketball coach.
Here's my next thing, though. Do you see Molly Miller doing stuff like that?
No.
I'll go a step farther. Do you see our buddy down at Arizona doing stuff like that?
I have not.
I'll tell you who we do see do that a lot. Bobby Hurley's brother at Connecticut.
He seems like he's getting angrier as time goes by.
Every year he's getting madder and madder and madder at the world as well. But I don't know, Dale. It just after that I was like, I'm done. I don't even care about this game. I'm gonna go watch the Suns get destroyed by 400 points.
It was a game for a quarter.
Let's say first half. It was entertaining. But when you don't have legs and shooters, you're eventually going to fall short in a game.
Against a decent team.
Better than decent team. Yeah. And they were without their best player, Jalen.
Yeah,
Jalen Brown's their best player right now. But they actually play really good without him. That's the sad part about it. Normally you lose your best player and you suffer a little bit. The Celtics might play better without Jalen Brown.
Well, you might do that in short spurts over a 10-game period. Yeah. No, but hey, guys get more minutes, guys get a chance, and you're playing against an inferior team. Yeah. I don't recognize this Suns team. Obviously, you got two guys that are missing.
Yeah.
But even Jalen Green, and I wonder what his shooting percentage is the last 2-3 games.
I'm sure we can look that up and everything. It's just like, I don't know. So that was my night last night. State of the Union, ASU basketball, and that nonsense.
And your Phoenix.
I was legitimately sitting there watching that at the ASU thing. And I was dealing with some other stuff and whatever. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just getting grumpier the more I'm watching it. And then they show the replay and I'm getting grumpier. Like, what is Bobby Hurley doing right now?
Right. What's he yelling at?
He's the leader. He doesn't even know why he's yelling at this point. What was there to yell at and put your fingers into the ref's face?
Somebody knock me down.
What was there to be mad about in that situation? All the TCU coaches are being professional, and they're like, all right, guys, let's get out of here. Let's the other head coach is down. Let's all lean down and pick him up like he's a toy. With our pinky fingers, we're just gonna whoop. Have you ever seen a grown man get picked up that easily in your life? I should have isolated just that screen right there. Bobby Hurley apparently weighs 40 pounds. And the TCU coach is a bench, whatever Bobby Hurley weighs. Because that dude acted like he was just picking up a stuffed animal on the side of the road.
Imagine you or I going down.
Yeah, they would have been like, actually, they would have been like, leave him down there.
Yeah. Everybody back to the bench.
So is that the universal thing to do when you fall down and you get embarrassed? And you fall down, just get up and start yelling for no reason? Is that what you do now?
And hope it didn't make it on camera?
Yeah, exactly. And then just hope nobody caught it. So everybody's like, oh my God, somebody knocked that guy down. Like that's the narrative you want out there is you're mad and you're yelling about it and everything. And you're putting your fingers in the ref's faces. When did this thing even start?
Oh, I've seen that happen before.
Oh no, I've noticed it. I've noticed it a lot lately, though. But it might have happened before. But it's really been bothering me this year. Like when he gets mad, it's like, what are you doing? How do you think Bobby Hurley argues with like his wife? Like when he doesn't take the trash out and she's mad at him. You think he's?
Don't you tell me what to do.
You think he's got the fingers there? I'm not saying he's doing anything bad. I'm just saying, does he fight like that at other places as well? So Dale, that was my fun last night, and then of course they went and lost. Which I mean, who cares? Lose them all now because your season's over. It's been over. Let's just get through this and get on and get a new coach. And it goes back to the old narrative of who can you get better? I don't even think I care right now. Like I said, hire a local high school coach that's had a ton of success to run the program for a year or two. I don't even care at this point. Get somebody else in here.
There's got to be somebody.
Yeah. And if it's worse off, oh, well, can it get any worse than what we're dealing with right now?
Hey, again, you look back revisionist history. When they hired Bobby Hurley, it was an exciting time. He was a name. He had success.
Well, best point guard in the history of college basketball, if not the best. Top 2-3, and he did a great job at Buffalo. If you do a great job at Buffalo, that's what I hate about the narrative, Dale, of, the supporting stuff here sucks. It's 400 times better than Buffalo was.
Yeah. And the climate's a little bit better.
Get the Buffalo kids to come here. You're not going to win in the Big 12 doing that. But get competitive kids in here and stuff like that. Yeah, I get tired of that narrative. No, you're right. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not going to revise the history. He was a big name. He was a big get at the time.
Yeah.
And at that time, I said it yesterday with Coop, At that time, it was, what's the best coach we can get for the least amount of money? Was the attitude of hiring ASU coaches.
Right.
That seems like that's changed now. Doesn't mean they're going to go get,
Bill Self.
Yeah, yeah. They're not going to go get Bill Self.
You mean Tommy Lloyd's not going to come up to I-10?
Yeah. They're not going to pay him that much out there. But they're not going to go, what lower level guy can we get into here for a couple years at a low salary and then blow him out at that point? They're going to put some effort into this coming up here and stuff like that. So that's the other positive on why you would make the move. But Dale, I just irritated all heck last night watching that nonsense there.
What would you give to be a fly on the wall in Graham Rossini's living room as he's sitting there watching that game?
That's what's interesting because separate now, Graham Rossini is an ultimate professional. He would never barge in and do anything like that. There's probably I don't even know if you have a conversation about it now, other than kind of stupid last night, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like Dale, if that was you'd come in here and I would just be like, man, how'd your night go last night? How do you think that went for you? You think you look good in that situation?
Wow, that's what you say.
I would make fun of it a little bit, and have fun with it. I think at this point, though, you're just like, oh, God, those termination papers are in my email. It's just, I don't know if you need termination papers. You just go, we're not renewing you.
Well, and that's the thing. It times up right because his contract ends after this year.
Yep.
It's not like, oh, they're firing him with 3 years left on his contract.
Bobby Hurley calls you and he gets that do. This number has been disconnected.
Hey, what happened to Graham Rossini's number?
His grandma, then he's all calling Dr. Crow and he's all do.
Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah, this number has been disconnected.
Hey, buddy.
All ASU extensions are now blocked. Who did that? Didn't Bidwell's dad do that at one point for somebody? Fired him at halftime? Was that Bidwell's dad or was that some other NFL owner?
I don't remember something like that.
Yeah, so anyway, there you go, everybody. Bobby Hurley last night.
So does that eliminate ASU from winning the Big 12?
They were eliminated when they lost just to get to the NCAA tournament. They were technically still alive going to that Baylor game. They weren't making it. But, I mean, they would have had beat Baylor, beat TCU, beat Utah, split Kansas and Iowa State here to end the season. And then they would have had to win 2 or 3 games in the Big 12 tournament to be in the bubble to get into the tournament. That wasn't going to happen. But technically, they're alive. But it's done. What is it done? Put a fork in them? I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I don't. You're cutting off a head.
I know. I think you get fined for doing that stuff. Now.
Yeah, you get a technical.
Yeah, they bow and arrow. They just get fined for that too. All right, NFL, I'll cut the check. You got it. But yeah, so Dale, that was my announcement. How did? First of all, Dale had a follow-up yesterday, and the most important thing to get out of this, folks, because I don't see it, but Dale still has a heart.
I have a heart. It's beating,
confirmed.
Healthy.
Yeah.
It's big giving heart.
I sent a note to that doctor after I heard about this, that you passed and everything, and your heart's good in there, and your heart's in there, and I went, I don't believe it. Send me the stuff. Send me the unedited pictures and video of this.
So Steve's looking at ASU and Hurley, then looking at the X-rays.
Exactly. I mean, I'm doing the flimsy thing and holding it up to the light. I don't see it in there. You sure? So Dale does have a heart, folks. I just wanted to announce that here on the program.
Thank you.
He does have a heart.
Appreciate you remembering what I was doing yesterday. Usually you don't even think of me at.
Well, no, because I was shocked when they were like, he has a heart. And I was like, no, he doesn't. He pretends he has one. I see how he treats the homeless and the children around our building down here.
Wow.
I see how he does the dogs, let alone me.
Is that?
I see it, Doc. I just don't believe it.
Yes, let that lie there.
I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
So and all that fun stuff. Yes. So other than that, good Wednesday, good Tuesday, I guess I should say.
Yeah. Was it? Was it?
I thought it was good.
Why else would you say it was good?
Nothing. I watched a lot of. I had a busy yesterday, so I went home and crashed. I had one of those what year is it sleeps to the point when I got up, I was all dizzy and stuff. Like,
whoa.
Yeah, I was like, all right, what's up with it? I was like,
okay.
Kids had appointments yesterday, so we went to that and everything. I did all that stuff, so that was fun. Then we stopped for dinner, and then I went home and took a nap on the couch, waiting for the games to start and everything. Still back asleep by 9:30 last night. It's just for a week around here though, and everything.
Yeah, around here in your life, in your sports teams' lives.
Yes, I don't mind change. I just hate change when it's forced upon me. I'll deal with it and stuff like that, but it's stressful, man.
Well,
all we're doing, Dale, is literally Riley, Kobe, and Thomas are going to come in here, tear down this building in a U-Haul, take it to the next place.
Yeah,
and we've been at the old place before, so it's not like it's anything new or anything. But I'm stressed out about it, man. I don't know why.
Well, they say, in your life,
yeah.
The stress factors, marriage, moving is way up there.
Yeah.
And loss of a parent.
But there's loss of a parent.
But I'm just saying, those are
moving
three of the
is
biggest.
up there?
Yeah. Now they're talking a house, but this is a house.
Well, I know, but part of it is because unexpectedly, basically somebody's bought the building we're in, so we have to get out of here and everything. So we didn't have a lot of time, so I'd like to get the other stuff. But yeah, no, I'm really stressed out about this. And there's no reason to be stressed out about it. It'll go fine, no problem. But I'm stressed out about it.
How many times are you going to have to go up and down the stairs, Steve?
Here?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not. No, they're all doing that because you know what? Because you guys booked the Steak 44 dinner, I can't be here all afternoon.
All afternoon? Steak 44 is closer to here than your house.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not driving all the way home and then back, am
Yeah.
I? I'm actually debating if I'm going to do that or not. Look at a dog and stuff, So, but no, that's legitimate. So I'm a little stressed out about that. It's weird to me because it's not. It's one thing if you're moving to a new place or something, But we've done this. And it's like, all right, we're going right back to the other place. What's the big deal here? But I just don't like that.
Have you checked to make sure that your internet's up?
No, I gotta go. That's the other. I gotta go get the internet.
Show up Monday morning.
Oh no, because so that's why we're off Friday. We're gonna be dark on Friday because Riley, Kobe, and Thomas and them are going to get all the wires taken down, move everything over to the other place. And then Friday, we're going to get there and we're going to set everything up, make sure all the testing's done, everything, internet and stuff like that. So, no, we'll be ready to go on Monday. We'll be ready. We'll be ready to go.
Okay. I trust. In Steve, we trust.
Well, if not, you'll get a text.
No, actually, in Riley, we trust.
Yeah, exactly. No, look, let's make no mistake about Riley and Kobe. Because let's be honest about it. If it was up to me, it'd take me like 3 weeks to do this.
Oh, can you imagine you and I trying to do this?
No.
One monitor at a time.
Yeah, exactly. What do we have? 30 monitors around this place?
Taking this elevator takes a long time.
There's a freight elevator back there. But yes, I don't know. I'm just feeling that stuff. So I think that's what's effective. Yesterday I just had some free time out there, so it was like, I'm gonna take advantage of a nap and all that stuff. And I think it just kind of overwhelmed me a little bit. And then I had to go watch Bobby Hurley. Maybe Bobby Hurley's upset he's got to move here soon. Maybe that's affecting him. Robert, I don't have the picture on this, but Robert tagged us, said, "Is this the X-ray?" And it's the Grinch.
Wow.
With the great hole in the picture.
Wow.
Yes, that was what the doctor said, as a matter of fact. I'm like, why is Dale's skin green in this? He also says, seems like college basketball, you need to be 70% salesman, and Bobby ain't that. I've consistently said over the years that I've been doing this that college basketball coaches are worse than like used car salesmen, the ambulance chasing lawyers. They're just dirty, dirty people. You shake their hand and you instantly start checking to make sure you have your wallet, And those are the best ones out there, let alone the lower tier ones.
Wow.
And I agree with you, Robert. I agree 100%. I read this big article a couple weeks ago, and I said Bobby Hurley doesn't have the mentality to be a head coach in Division I basketball in this day and age. And I agree with that. He doesn't have that element to him that you need. Like, look how Bill Self's handling this Patterson situation at Kansas. The other night, guy hits a three again, number 1 draft pick this year.
Yeah.
Well, reportedly, could be, should be, but might not be.
Talent-wise,
right? Yes.
Yeah.
But he hits a three. Previously, he hits a three after 18 minutes and calls himself out of the game and doesn't want to go back in. And at that time, Bill Self sat him. Then Kansas goes and lose by whatever it was, 30 to, some low-end school in the Big 12. And then Bill Self reportedly had to meet with boosters and the AD and all this stuff, whatnot. Next game, Patterson's out there, hits a three. It's having a great game again, hits a three, goes to tap out of the game. And Bill Self yelling at him, stay in the game, get back, stay in the game, get back. You have to be able to deal with that stuff, whether it's you bench them, whether you put them in there and deal with that, but you have to be able to do it. Does anybody think, I would argue you shouldn't have to deal with that as a head coach. That's an extreme example, but look how Bill Self's handling it, right, and stuff like that. Bobby Hurley would just be in his face with his fingers pointing all the time, turning red, yelling for no reason.
Well, I don't know how I would deal with that Kansas kid.
Oh, I would have benched him months ago. He obviously doesn't want to play. 18 minutes, dominating the game, and he taps out for the rest of the game. I even saw the worst part is, Dale, there are pictures out there during the game. Well, like a foul happens and teams huddle up?
Yeah.
So they were huddling up, and it was 4 Kansas players, and he was like at the half court line just standing there. And it was multiple shots of this over multiple games. He doesn't even want to be around his teammates or anything. Good luck to whoever drafts him. Good luck, Jazz, drafting him.
Draft at your own peril.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great when the best owner in sports drafts him up there in Utah? I can think of nothing better, Dale, for that to happen. We have a lot of NFL stuff, mainly Cardinals stuff from the Combine. LaFleur, Monty Ossenfort talked yesterday. Okay, I've come to a conclusion. And like I said, I got to be clear about this. Monty's mom is the salt of the earth. Love her to death. And I've tried to be nice about Monty. But every time he's in front of a microphone, it makes it harder and harder and harder to be gentle with the guy. Today might be the day that I turn on it. It has nothing to do with the way you raised him. And it doesn't. It has nothing to do with it. I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm not saying he needs to be fired. I'm saying he needs to stop going around a microphone. That's
conflicting reports from the great city of Indianapolis.
Yeah, so I don't have this clip from Monty, so we'll just tell you this. Monty yesterday said, oh, yeah, I talked to Kyler about his future and everything. Oh, yeah, we talk. We've talked several times. ESPN themselves, not some Cardinals podcast, not even PFF, who you don't always believe on stuff like that. Not even PFF. ESPN themselves this morning. Sources say Kyler Murray has not talked to Monty Ossenfort since the season's ended.
Well, I think Ossenfort's going to try and hide. Have you had conversations with him? Well, maybe he did during the regular season.
No, he flat out said multiple conversations after the season ended. So did LaFleur,
How the last
by the way.
season unfolded.
So did LaFleur, by the way. Why? So which one of these guys is lying and who benefits who for lying in this situation? Because it's either Kyler's camp's lying or Kyler's lying or Monty's lying. Why do either one of them need to lie? Don't you just go, we're trying to figure out the call. You could beat around. And I'll even go a step farther because I'm going to show you today. Monty Ossenfort is really, really good at talking and not saying anything.
A lot of those general managers.
I'm going to give you a perfect example of that today. So why would you come out and say I've talked to him a couple times when you haven't? If that report is true. But then at the same time, why would ESPN from the Kyler camp say they've never talked since the season ended? Who benefits who in this situation?
Well, this is a quote. It says, "Yeah, I've always had a good dialogue with Kyler, and I'd say last season wasn't up to what Kyler wanted. It wasn't up to what any of us wanted as a season as a whole. And so you had that kind of year that we had. There's a lot of room for improvement, not only at the quarterback position, but at all other positions." So it's kind of he didn't specifically say, yes, I sat down and we've had a long discussion after the season ended.
Yeah.
But he kind of left it murky.
Yes. Kyler's camp, basically, a source countered Ossenfort's affirmation is what they said there. I have no doubt. Once Kyler was determined he wasn't playing, and I told you during the season, I was under the impression Kyler's camp is the one that said, I have a foot injury and I'm done playing here. I believe Kyler was the one that would put a break on his own season, not wanting to play here anymore. I believe that's the angle that you're going with at this, as opposed to the Cardinals deciding he wasn't playing anymore. And they have to go along with it, right? Because you're not going to keep throwing him out there and stuff like that, things like that. So I believe that's the angle that I would take if I'm looking at who's it right, who's it wrong, and stuff like that. But I can understand that if the player pushes him way to the IR and doesn't want to play anymore and all that stuff, and you don't want to embarrass him because he has trade value in theory, so you don't want to embarrass him and you want to do that stuff. Cool. Kind of like what Kenny Dillingham did with his quarterback. Wasn't going to embarrass him for his injury, off football injury or anything like that.
Right. Because
you're not going to be that guy and things to that effect. So I can understand him not picking up the phone and calling Kyler anymore on IR. He doesn't want to be part of this team. Fine. We're done. We're moving on. So I can understand not calling him. It's getting messy is my point here. You can even say that, Dale. You can even say, hey, we talked to Kyler when he went on to IR. There's been limited communication since on both sides. We're trying to figure out if he's going to be part of this team. We hold his contract, or if we need to move on from him. And we're having discussions every day with that. It's simple as that you could say. It's getting messy. My point is, Dale, it's getting messy right now. And it shouldn't get messy. What's getting messy about it? Why do you need it to get messy? He's here or he's not. 90% of your fan base doesn't care either way.
And I was going to say, how many people would be up in arms? They go, no, I've not talked to Kyler since the season ended.
That's my point. Why put this and make this messy? I can understand all the talk of prepping him up and stuff because you're trying to trade him. So I understand that. You also want to hold your card. This is a time of year I hate because everybody lies all the time. Because we would never do this. And then 3 weeks later they do it. It's because they're trying to get better trade value or whatever and stuff like that. But I can understand that side of it. But if this gets messy, I'm going to personally blame Monty Austin for this getting messy. And it shouldn't get messy. It just shouldn't. He's here, he's not. Make the decision. Do what you got to do. We move on with our lives. But what are you doing it to where you have people asking Kyler's people and the sources with Kyler, and he refutes what you've said? Why even get to that level here, Dale? It's like when you break up with somebody. You're in a relationship and they break up, right? And they're all yapping. You just sit there and be quiet. Let them yap all they want. Why are you going to get in that mud and make it messier? Who cares? God, you got rid of her. See you later. Bye. Or you got rid of him. I'm going to get personal here now. But why get into that? Why do it?
Because you hold all the cards, literally, pun intended, if you are the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, so why do you
just
make
say,
it
no,
messy?
we haven't talked, and he's under contract, and until he's not under contract, he's the property of the Arizona Cardinals, and he's one of our 3 quarterbacks.
Absolutely. And there are discussions going on about the future of all parties involved.
We are looking at every roster spot.
Which is what they say.
Which you do when you're 3-14. Guess what?
Which they do say all the time.
Guess what, folks? Even when you're 14-3, you look at roster decisions.
But when he was asked about Kyler Murray, he said on Tuesday, conversations about Murray's future takes place daily.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that he talks to Kyler. Trust me. Okay, here's my other side of it. If you're having conversations about Murray's future daily, you have derelict of duty. You know if you're keeping him or not. At this point, you better know if you're keeping him or not. Because when you're at the combine, you need to know what positions you need to fill. Is quarterback one of them? Should you be paying attention to those positions?
Do you think when he says conversations daily, maybe not daily, but is he getting calls from other teams inquiring about him and what?
No, that's what I mean. But I understand what you're saying, and that's my angle too. That's how I actually took it.
Yeah.
Was, no, we're talking about him daily, meaning whether they're having conversations, they're calling people, going, please take Kyler Murray.
Or people are calling them.
But they know what they're doing with them. They know if he's going to be on this team or not, et cetera. And they have all that settled. They better have all that settled. By saying that, you made it sound like
the organization is trying to decide.
Or you're talking to Kyler Murray almost daily about his future. That's what that implies. And so that's why you open this up and make it messy and stuff like that. So we got a lot to talk about on this, Dale.
Well, and guess what? We got another week or so to figure it out.
Monty talked yesterday about Walter Nolan and his we think he talked about his rehab and when he's going to be back. We'll have to check in with Monty on this. Monty talked about the team coming off of a bad season. LaFleur talked yesterday about Kyler Murray. This is what I said before. Keep this in mind as we go to break here, and we'll come back and talk about this. The Cardinals, if they were smart. Now, your GM has to talk about draft stuff. You can't hide him for that. LaFleur's the face of your franchise moving forward. He's the front guy. Unless it's draft stuff or Monty needs to talk about it and stuff like that. Other than that, LaFleur handles the conversation moving forward. And I'll show you why, and I'm gonna give you a good example, because LaFleur was asked the same message yesterday, asked the same question yesterday, and you'll see the difference here in the answers and stuff like that. So come on back, main event. Let's have a heart attack with the Cardinals here.
Go Sun Devils.
Bobby. Whew, it's hot in here. I feel like Bobby Hurley right now.
Just relax.
I should have turned on the other fan. Yeah. Apparently we're moving and they turned the air off.
Well, it's cold over here.
Is it? You probably feel the air from that fan over there. It's 71 degrees in here right now. What the heck, man? That's because all the lights shine on me just naturally, Dale.
Okay.
Throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert says maybe Monty's, spelled it Y-I-N-Y, don't fit in the valley. You think it's the name that doesn't let them fit in here? All right, so let's get into this.
All right.
Mike LaFleur goes to the podium yesterday. Let's look at this one first here. He's asked about the Kyler Murray situation, what the status of it is and everything. Keep in mind, this is in Indianapolis, day one of the combine. Every team met with the media, et cetera, and things like that. So here's Mike LaFleur. I'm going to confuse him and his brother constantly, folks. Get used to this. LaFleur on Kyler Murray's asked that question. Here he is.
Yeah, we reached out. I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but he reached back out to me, and we'll keep it at that. Just like I'm going to keep all the conversations with everyone on our team, between us.
Yeah.
You know what's not happening? You know what's not happening after that? After he said that, Kyler's camp is not refuting that conversations have happened.
Right.
Just let that was before Monty talk. Just let LaFleur handle it. Then when you get asked as Monty and be like, you know what? As an organization, we're trying to figure out what we're doing. We know that him and LaFleur have had conversations, and we look forward to working with Kyler Murray in whatever capacity we need to work with him on. And we're talking about it daily.
Don't you think that whoever they were going to hire, that they had a consensus among Michael, Monty, and whoever coach was going to come in here
it was questions 1 through 10
on what they're going to do with Kyler being probably at the top of the list?
There might not even have been questions. It might have been, this is what we're doing.
Although if you're a smart organization, you're bringing him in, what would you do?
Well, I'll argue this. The Cardinals are telling you what they're doing with Kyler Murray without telling you.
Oh, really? Share, Steve.
They're getting rid of him. Remember when Jonathan Gannon got here? And he's like meeting Kyler Murray in the weight room. They're hugging. And he's literally like, Kyler's our guy. Kyler's our guy. Kyler's our guy. He was buying a hamburger. And he goes up the window and Burger King's all, welcome to Burger King. What can we get you? And Jonathan Gannon would go, Kyler Murray's my quarterback. And I'll take 2 hamburgers. 2 Whoppers, please. And he gets up to the window and they're like, $42, sir, for your 2 hamburgers. And he goes, Kyler Murray's my quarterback. $42? What? There you go. I love your plain boiled burgers. And then he's at the grocery store and he's picking out a couple apples. And somebody's like, "Hey, sir, we're about to rotate our stock. If you give us a second, we'll get you some fresher apples." And he goes, "Kyler Murray's my quarterback."
There's not many in the media business who can take buying a delicious Whopper from Burger King
Childboyness.
and Kyler Murray, put it together in a story, and take a shot at Burger King.
I love Burger King's hamburgers, but not for $4 or whatever they are now. It's
What?
ridiculous.
$4.
I don't know.
$4, you're getting half a hamburger.
I know. Like, I just want hamburgers with just ketchup and mustard on it and pickle. That's all I want from you. And it gets expensive quickly nowadays.
Yes.
And they're not good. You feel like garbage after you eat them, but, they're good while you're eating them, though.
Oh.
But the point is, Jonathan Gannon just was telling the world Kyler Murray's my guy. What are the Cardinals not saying right now?
That Kyler Murray's their guy.
We're having discussions about him every day. They're telling you what they're doing without telling you.
Well,
So much to the point, Dale, that if they go, Kyler Murray's our quarterback coming into this year, you're going to have to pick me and probably half the people in town up off the floor because they are telling you he's not coming back.
There's so much murkiness in this situation. Could he be traded? Will they have to cut him?
They're going to have to cut him.
Are they going to cut him with a post-June designation?
That's probably what they're going to do.
What? Or is there a way that he restructures and stays with them? I think there's so many things.
Yeah, that's the one I don't see happening.
No, because you're not going to give up money.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I mean, I said it during the season. I think Kyler Murray's camp went to the Cardinals and said, "I'm done here. I'm done."
Certainly looked that way.
And well, that's the thing. Just going. Nobody. I've been told some things behind the scene, but nothing that emphatic because nobody knows the conversation. But I've been told things that goes with that narrative. And then if you look at it, gets hit in the face. Was playing fine, gets hit in the face, foot hurts. Practicing for 3 weeks. Dallas game's coming up, practicing hard. You see a video of him practicing hard at practice, and all of a sudden can't go. And then just all the narrative is a month later, "Oh, you don't want to re-injure that foot. You can re-injure that foot." And all that crap started coming out. Kyler Murray's camp went to the Cardinals and said, he doesn't want to play for you anymore. So we need to figure a way out of this.
Certainly looked like something like that did take place.
And so now the Cardinals have had to do that awkward thing of, that's what I mean by Monty messing this up. There's no reason to mess it up. Do your game of, we'd be excited if Kyler Murray was back. They're not even saying that. They're not even lying about that. So play your game with the other GMs and everybody's indicating you're prepared to keep him.
Yeah.
But you're not. Play all those games you want to try to help a trade facilitate. But I'm telling you guys, nobody's trading for him.
Instead of a 7th, will you please give us a 6th?
That's the thing. You're arguing over a 7th or a 6th round pick. Or even a 6th and a 5th. It doesn't matter. Right? And stuff like that. So that's what I mean by there's no reason to muddy this up. We know what you're doing. We know the games you're playing. And if they come back and go, Kyler Murray's restructured, Dale, I'm going to be in the hospital. I'm not going to lie to you. Clear a hospital bed because my heart ain't going to take it. We know Dale's heart's strong. Mine's not going to take it because it'll be the most unbelievable thing coming out of somebody's mouth if they had put out a press release or say that. Because nothing is telling you they're doing it. They're not even faking it by going, "Oh, no, all indications are we'd love to have Kyler Murray be on this team next year." They're not even lying to you about that. We're just having discussions daily on them. So they are telling you without telling you what their plans are and their intentions are. Which I do find it interesting. Why is him and LaFleur talking?
You in my mind, I try and conjure up why. Hey, what kind of offense are you going to run? I don't know. Do you see me fitting in that offense?
But
I
if
don't know.
If you're done,
I just throw things out.
But
there.
if you're done, why are you having those comments? If you know you're moving on, why do it?
Right.
Why even send that tag? Unless, hey, this guy could be a good head coach someday. He might be my coach on his second stint after 3 years, and he gets fired in Phoenix. He might be my coach. Might be my coach again. No, there's respect from that front. I would argue you talk to a head coach more than you would talk to a GM in this situation.
Boy, see, that's fascinating too. Because
if you're
going to
moving
trade
on,
me,
you're going to talk to the coach because you could end up working with that guy again. Most GMs get fired and don't get another shot.
that's fascinating. There's so many things that you wish that you kind of just had a little bit more info on.
That's the thing. And that's the problem with what they're doing.
Everybody's guessing.
Yeah, they're leaving it to us to guess. And some people just have wild, crazy theories out there. God bless you if you do. I just look at the situation, compare it to other situations. Like even Aaron Rodgers and McCarthy in Steelers land are playing the dance right now. McCarthy's all, Aaron Rodgers actually had a down year last year, but he can come back this year in this system and have a better year, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're even playing that dance. And the Cardinals aren't doing it at all. But if I was a player and I was done with an organization, I would, like Max Crosby. I told you guys before, he's in business with Brady. It's a hard breakup. But he could also leave that organization. But he's going to talk to Brady a lot as he's going out the door. Is he going to pick up the phone and call the new head coach? Is he going to pick up the phone and call Mark Davis? Probably not. But him and Brady are going to talk on the way out. There's just certain people in an organization that I think you would reach out to even if you're leaving. And a GM probably is not one of them. Or an owner is probably not one of them. Dale, you went through this. You got to blame them anyway, right? For the situation now we're going to. Like, Kyler Murray looks at the Cardinals and goes, you guys have failed me with your hires. I would not be surprised if that's the case. And he partially wouldn't be wrong.
Very true. And sometimes you cast things out.
Yeah.
Not saying, well, you know what? We both had a hand in this.
Yes. Well, you could take responsibility, but he's playing. You didn't give me the receivers this year. Marv doesn't know how to catch football for some reason this year. Where'd my running game go? I got hit in the face with a ball. My foot hurts. That shouldn't happen. Kyler's saying that stuff, right? So I can understand that, from that perspective. It's fascinating, though, what we're dealing with. So, Dale, then Monty's goes up and he talks. Monty was asked about the team and some aspect, from last year. Same questions he's always asked out there and stuff like that. So the specific deal, last year's worst team in the best division of the NFL. So Monty was asked if the Cardinals are trying to be competitive in 26, or are we in a rebuild here, building for the future, is the question that was asked of him. Well, here's Monty's response.
Well, I think that's both. I think no matter where you are in your team's process, it's always a balance. Like, we're always looking to be the most competitive that we can be this year, and there's always a long-term aspect to roster building as well. And so, hey, listen, we have a challenging division. We have the Super Bowl champs, we have the team that was playing to go to the Super Bowl, and we have a team that was in the Final Eight. So, listen, it's a meat grinder of division, but you know what? We wouldn't want it any other way. It's a challenge, and even outside of our division, there's no easy weeks. Like, no matter who you play, it's hard to win a game in the National Football League, and that's the way it should be. That's why it's the most competitive league in the world. And so we're looking forward to the challenge, and we're anxious to go out there and prove ourselves and improve upon what we did last year.
And we wouldn't want it any other way.
You
let
believe
me
that?
give you a
Okay.
little tidbit. Let me give you a little tidbit.
You caught on to what I was going to say. Yes. Tell us, Dale.
You got to say that, but it would have been refreshing for him to go, gosh, I wish we weren't in this division.
Man, I want to be in that NFC South.
Yeah.
With the Buccaneers and the Texans.
Well, we're 9-8, 8-9 is in the hunt.
Yeah. Carolina and Buccaneers battling it out for that last deal.
Well, we're not going to finish 9 games behind
we want to
third place.
We want to be in this position. I'm glad you caught that.
Oh,
because he said that yesterday, and I was like, dude, I get it. You can't say it.
No.
But come on. You would give anything to not be in this division because it's going to cost you your job no matter what you do. At some point, if you don't get to 14 wins and compete for a Super Bowl championship in this division, it's going to cost you your job.
No.
And there are easier divisions. I firmly believe Robert Saleh went to the Titans because he went, all right, I could turn that team around, and I have a chance to turn it around in that division. And it's you factor that stuff in. So it does crack me up there a little bit on what he was saying. But, he does say a lot of words with not a lot of information, though, doesn't he?
And he said them really fast.
Yeah, right. He's a more energetic Bill Belichick, is what I'm kind of labeling here. Did he say if they're building for the future, Dale? Did he say if they're competing or building for the future at all? That was the question.
He said you're doing both.
Yeah, a little bit of both, guys.
Well, that's what a general manager's supposed to do, Steve. And I'll tell you the reason that Salah went to Tennessee. They think they have a quarterback. They have $100 million in salary cap room.
Well, and
a weak division.
And the weak division.
Yeah.
You can go from last to first in that division.
Yeah.
Without blinking an eye. If you do it properly and stuff like that. Anybody think the Cardinals are going worst to first this year? Anybody? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you think so. All right, here's Monty on his Kyler Murray situation here, folks. More importantly, we kind of talked about this already. But here we go. I'm sorry, not on Kyler Murray. I'm sorry, on Walter Nolan is what he talks about. Okay, he was asked specifically, or Walter Nolan, sorry, Kobe. I apologize. But Walter Nolan, he's asked specifically, I want to set it up right. He came into camp and got injured with the calf, came back, played phenomenal, hurts his knee and goes out. Where's he at in his rehab? When do you expect to have him back is the question here. I'm going to tell you right now, it's about a minute something long clip. Brace yourself here. Monty Ossenfort on Walter Nolan and his status right now.
Yeah, really excited about Walt's future. Walt ran into some tough luck for us there going into training camp and knocked him out and going in and guys, that's hard. That's hard for a rookie player to recover from. When you miss training camp, that developmental time, it's hard to recover from that. And to see him work himself back and be as frustrated as he was that he couldn't be out there because of a health issue, and then to see him come back and have the impact that he had when he came out, only to a couple games into it get nicked up again. And so, nobody was more frustrated than Walter. And Walter has done everything we've asked him to do. He's been great in our building with rehab and when he was practicing and when he was on the field. Like, we saw flashes of what Walter can be. And he's been in the facility every day since the season ended. He's going to have himself in a great position to help us out. We're really looking forward to Walt's future with us, and he's going to be a disruptive player for us for a long time.
So, how's his rehab going, Coach? GM? Do you expect him back at the beginning of training camp? Are we going to see him in OTAs coming up? Anything? Anything at all? Thanks for giving us the history lesson. My favorite part about this, Dale. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, I guess I have different terminology for nicked up.
Yeah, well, then your knee blown out.
I mean, nicked up to me is you tear a fingernail.
Yeah, you got bruises because helmets are hitting you in the forearm a lot, and you have bruises, right? Not tearing your knee up
right.
to where you have to miss the rest
That's
of
a
the
little
season?
different than nicked up to me. Got a little boo-boo.
Teo Mackey, who's my favorite beat reporter on the face of the planet because he asks the hard questions. He puts out on Twitter, asked about Walter Nolan today, Monty Ossenfort said 204 words without providing an update on his knee injury or when the Cardinals expect him to return. I heard the clip, I saw the clip, and I was like, he didn't answer the question.
No, he did not.
Like, we don't have any update on Walter Nolan. Zero update on him. Which, by the way, we never had during the season either with this calf injury. Keep him that in mind.
At least with the Suns, we get you'll be reevaluated in a week.
Exactly. But then to have somebody put out count the words in the transcript, 204 words, and did not answer the question.
Don't you think it'd have been pretty easy to go, he's shooting for a return to the OTAs?
He alluded, he's doing everything we asked him to do in the offseason, and he is expected. We don't know if he'll be here for the OTAs for a precautionary reason, but we expect him ready for the start of training camp. And we'll reevaluate that coming up in May, June timeframe as we get closer to camp. Perfect. Thanks, Coach. Our GM. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the update. That's what we wanted.
No, you wouldn't. You'd still be upset. No, I want a date. I want July 2nd.
Here's why those questions are important around the Cardinals, Dale, and you know this. They have not, with Jonathan Gannon as a head coach, been honest about their injuries and the time frames and stuff like that. They haven't been. Setbacks have happened, and they don't talk about them. They just look at Trey Benson, the running back. Oh, he's coming back. He's practicing. He's coming back. Oh, he's practicing. He's practicing. He's practicing. We're expected to open the window. Out for the season.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Did he have a setback?
What just happened?
And if he did have a setback, say he had a setback.
Why can't you say there's a setback?
Yeah.
And so he's got to go out. The Jonah, the lineman. Remember that last year? Hurts his knee? Nothing about it. Nothing. They aren't honest about their injuries. At least there's honesty. And what I'm talking about is they don't just tell you. This is the injury. We expect him back in 4 to 6 weeks. It's just they leave you guessing. And it's like, what? What was wrong with Walter Nolan's knee? Do you know? I Googled it. Do you know what actually was wrong with his knee?
I don't.
No, that's my point.
Did he have surgery?
Did he blow it out? Did every CL in his leg blow out? So he's out for a year? Or is he going to be back for training camp? Simple. Hey, we expect him back for the beginning of training camp, folks. We'll have to see. We'll have to reevaluate it. He's on progression for that. I'm not telling you he's going to, but we're expecting him to be back for the beginning of training camp. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the news. Instead, we got 204 words of the history of Walter Nolan and his injuries and how tough it is to come back from it. Second hour main event. We'll keep it rolling because we do have to talk more Cardinals here. Quarterback stuff. Maybe. Come on back. Main event. Second hour. Coming up next.
Be happy.
So, second hour main event, we're talking Cardinals, we're talking Indianapolis Underwear Olympics, as Dale calls them, as well. Do they give you a fresh pair of underwear, or are you responsible for them? Do the underwear say NFL on them?
Well, even that has changed. I mean, all they gave us was gray shorts.
Yeah, they just walk.
Now they got body suits.
Yeah,
I bet you I could have run a 4.9 flat in an aerodynamic bodysuit.
I think they should have pads on and stuff to run to run it. And they shouldn't time it. The thing I hate the most is the timing the 40, unless you're a wide receiver or even a running back.
Or
Nobody
DB.
else runs a 40.
The only time an offensive lineman's running 40 yards is to celebrate. And they'll still be there when you get there.
Exactly. You'll catch them halfway back.
Yeah.
So I do hate that when they're like, oh, that's a slow speed for that lineman on the 40.
Now they do.
He works in a 10-yard box.
They do get you your 5-yard, 10-yard splits, but yeah, that's around a 5.4 40. Okay.
Yes. Oh, we got to get that guy. So I just Googled it to see. December 30th of 2025, Josh Weinfurst there, who covers the Cardinals for ESPN. He said that Walter Nolan III did indeed have surgery because he posted a picture on his Instagram. Cardinals didn't even confirm he had knee surgery. I don't get it, man. I just don't get the secrecy. I don't get the constant you don't need to know, which we don't. We technically, they're not wrong. We don't need to know. It's not our right to know. You're just setting yourself up for failure with your fan base when you act this way.
Do you think this is a Mark Dalton thing? Because see, it doesn't seem to matter who the coach is.
No, Mark Dalton he's the head media guy. Mark Dalton only does what his owner wants.
But you don't think he has a little bit
he's got a say in it.
Oh.
Yeah, he probably abuses it. Well, he does abuse it. But that's the thing. It comes from the ownership down. I'll put it this way. A lot of people have come into the Cardinals organization that have been friends of his dad's, for instance, or played for the Cardinals, and they've either unfortunately passed on because they're older, they're in their 80s, 90s, whatever.
Right.
Or people have left just disgruntled beyond belief with Michael. So I would argue, Dale, and those of you that are in the corporate world, you know this. I've had bosses where you're just the people that stay with that boss, they do whatever he wants, and the boss can abuse them a little bit, and stuff like that, and they think they're somebody because the boss pays attention to them. I think that's what it is. So the people that have been there a long time, like Mr. Dalton and stuff, it's because they've incorporated themselves into that, and they like the power that they got, and they know how to stay on the owner's good side. And they sell their soul a little bit, or they're jerks, one of the two. They're just naturally jerky. They're just jerks without the billionaire status of Michael Bidwell. That's even more insulting. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, that's the Cardinals. Then, a lot of room. What's going to happen with the Cardinals? I told you guys, pay attention to Kirk Cousins. A lot of people are looking at Malik Willis. He's going to command a lot of money wherever he signs.
I heard $40 million, maybe?
So everybody was saying 25 to 30 million all time. Earlier this week or end of last week, a report came out that he could command in a bidding war $40 to $50 million. An unproven starting quarterback struggled in Titans land with Vrabel, by the way. Then, leaves spot performance last year in Green Bay. Looked really well in Green Bay. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But are you going to spend that kind of money on an unproven guy?
Haven't they done that before?
For the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Yes. It's a risk that good luck to you if you take it. Now, a lot of that comes to, right? He's coming from Green Bay. LaFleur's brother is the head coach there. You don't think there's conversations there on him and how great he is and all that stuff happening? His brother's going to feed him the truth is what I'm getting.
You would hope. Can you imagine Big Brother screwing you?
Here's where he struggles.
Yeah.
But if Jordan, maybe his brother goes, if Jordan Love went down today on a season-ending injury, he'll get us to the playoffs still, and we'd go on a run with him.
Right.
Okay, you're going to listen to that. You're going to listen to your big bro telling you that. So then you're going to spend the money on him. So that's the caveat on Willis. Me personally, unless that happens, I'd go Kirk Cousins as a bridge gap for a year or two. There's a ton of downside to Kirk Cousins, turnovers, that stuff, etc.
Right.
There's also a lot of good with Kirk Cousins. He can run an offense. On his good days, he can run an offense. He'll move an offense. He'll score, stuff to that effect. But there's also a lot of talk out there of the Bears' backup quarterback. Speaking of unproven. Now, the difference is you have to trade for him, but you're not going to command that giant contract that Malik Willis is going to get for a young quarterback here with Chicago.
Especially right off the bat.
Yes. So you're not going to have that big dollar number. He could be a bridge gap. Could be a young guy you have a lot of confidence in. There's a lot of reports out there saying the Cardinals like him a lot, the backup quarterback, which I just forgot his name. I'll find it here. But for the Chicago Bears. And that's Tyson, again? I think
it's Bagent.
Is that what it is?
Well, that's
it's something like that. Yeah.
But I've heard people pronounce it completely different than that.
And I apologize, folks. I don't have my screen open. I'm going off I'm trying to remember his name off the top of my head here. But it's Tyson, right? I think. I don't know. But anyway, I'll tell you this. The clip will say it. But Ryan Poles, GM of the Bears, why I don't know, but he's still there. He's received calls inquiring about the availability of their backup quarterback, and Bears love this kid to death. Mm-hmm. So a lot of rumors of him coming to Arizona. Now, like I said, you'd have to trade for him and stuff like that, but Ryan Poles discusses the conversation. Now, this is the difference. Kyler Murray, who all indications are he's not going to be here anymore, and a backup quarterback with the Bears. Listen to the difference in the GMs, first of all. Pay attention to this. Number 2, oh, dear God, we're going to end up with this kid. Here we go, Ryan Poles.
That someone like Tyson's going to get some, interest. We've gotten a few calls there. Obviously, the tough thing is with, what Ben thinks about Tyson, what I think about Tyson, what our locker room thinks about Tyson. That's a really tough decision for us. But for Tyson as well, I think he would have an opportunity to go and perform for our team and do some really good things. But again, you got to weigh the short term and long term. So now, what's the cost of replacement, right? To get someone like Tyson, we spent a lot of time developing him. Ben spent a lot of time developing him. So you got to replace that as well. So interesting dynamic there that we're gonna have to work through.
2 things. 1, he's available. Go get him if you want him.
Oh.
But number 2, do you notice the difference there? Now, we're talking a backup quarterback not commanding a ton of money.
Right.
He's signaling to the world he's available. We don't want to get rid of him, so bring your best deal, but he's available. Now compare that to what Monty is saying about Kyler. Fascinating difference, isn't it?
Situationally, it's also dramatically different.
But can't you just say for the Cardinals, can't you just say, everybody knows he's there. Hey, we're going to keep Kyler Murray, but he's available for a trade. If you want, give us a call. You have to pay us for him. Let's go. Isn't that the strategy you do? Because everybody right now, I'm telling you, if I was a GM in the league and I'm looking at Kyler Murray, first of all, enjoy getting fired if you do. But in all seriousness, if Kyler Murray ends up with the Vikings, Dale, he's going to do good. And we're all going to just want to hang ourselves. It's coming if he goes to the Vikings. Just telling you. O'Connell as his coach, oh my God, it's going to prepare to be sick. But can't you just come out and say that like Poles just did there? Hey, we love him to death. We want him on this squad, but he's available. Make your offer. What's the difference? Because everybody's sitting back going, why am I going to offer you if I can get him in free agency for a lesser contract?
You could definitely enhance, quote unquote, enhance his value, at least from what other people are thinking you think of him, yes, by addressing it like that.
Yes. But is anybody going to believe you? That's the question.
Right.
So I find it interesting, but look for this rumor here for the Chicago Bears backup quarterback. It's going to heat up really big, especially going into the draft. Regardless of what they do with Kyler Murray, cut him, trade him, keep him on the roster for the draft, it doesn't matter. It is going to heat up for this kid, for the Chicago Bears. Be prepared for it, is what I'm going to tell you. Here's the other side. If you're going to go after Kirk Cousins, I think you need to strike on him fairly quickly. I think there's going to be a bunch of teams needing an experienced quarterback that can command him early. And if you let him pass, you're going to limit your odds even more. So that is something else to kind of pay attention to as well.
Well, what's going to be fascinating to me is you get a coach that came over from the Rams. Who's the Rams quarterback? Sam Bradford. Now,
no, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. Okay.
I do that all the time, too. I've rubbed off on you, yes.
you have Matthew Stafford. Well, what kind of quarterback is he? Well, obviously, he's super talented.
Yeah, yes.
But he's not a runaround, zone option, going to keep the ball, threat with his legs, all those things. Which makes you go, well, is Malik Willis the guy that you want here with this? What does this coach want?
Yeah.
Does he want a Matthew Stafford-like guy?
Because he has an idea what he wants.
Yeah. So if it's
obviously
that, well, then Kirk Cousins would fit that bill.
Absolutely. Throw on those tight. And that's the way I'm looking at it. Jimmy G or Kirk Cousins, and we don't know Jimmy G's availability yet, but those two fit the Matthew Stafford if you want to run that Rams-type offense in here. Weird, you're right. 100%. Now, where else has he coached? San Francisco. They have running quarterbacks, but they're pocket guys.
Right.
When Jimmy G was there, for instance. After Kaepernick, it's all been pocket guys that can run if they need to. Brock Purdy being one of them.
Right.
I would tend to think that's the offense you want to run more, and that's why I'm leaning toward saying watch these guys. The Bears quarterback, backup quarterback, same thing. Pocket guy that can run if he needs to. not an all-time runner type position. Whereas Malik Willis, more of a Kyler Murray type, more of a Lamar Jackson type. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going I know Coop loves those running quarterbacks. I'm getting a little weary of those running quarterbacks. That style of running quarterbacks. Jordan Love, I don't consider him as big running quarterback. He's more of a pocket guy. It's just he's not really established as a passer yet.
Right.
I think that's where he struggles a little bit. So he has to rely on his legs. But I'm really weary of the Kyler Murray, Lamar Jacksons. What have they won other than Lamar Jackson's MVPs? There's always something that stops them from getting to that next level. I don't know if that's necessary. Sam Bradford, he will run if he needs to up in Seattle, but he's a pocket guy. I'm thinking that's the way to go for this and that side. But that's why I'm saying just keep an eye open on those guys out there as well from that perspective. So there's the thing. Now we're going to see guys running around, measurements, and people are going to go, oh, my God, look at that hand size. I will say this. On quarterbacks, I don't care about their fundamentals because Drew Brees was under 6 feet, and he had a heck of a career. I don't know if you guys know this, but he had a heck of a career, Dale. He's short. Kyler Murray, struggling with it. Bryce Young in Carolina, struggling with it a little bit as well. So I think it's a hit or miss. Russell Wilson, barely 6 feet tall, had a pretty nice career early on in his career and then kind of stumbled here lately and stuff to that effect. So I'm not worried about size, but I will say this, cold weather, and there's a lot of talk of Kyler Murray going to the Jets. This would be just an absolutely horrible decision by the Jets. Hand size does matter in inclement weather. I firmly believe that. Dale, tell me I'm wrong. Wet balls, bigger your hand, the more you can grip, and it doesn't slip out of your hand as easily.
There's some guys. Number one, there's some guys that can just throw a wet ball, and there's some that can't. A la Troy Aikman,
but
he
Troy
had
has
big
huge hands.
But the way he gripped the ball, he couldn't throw a wet ball. But yeah, I would say the more inclement the weather, the bigger your hands would help you.
And then Kyler runs with the ball out like this too. And can you imagine in cold weather and you're all whoop. So another thing I'm looking at as well. This is how stupid I get this time of year, dude.
Yeah.
It's getting ridiculous.
Tell you what, I mean, of the names being mentioned, again, Malik Willis scares the living daylights out of me. He may be all that in a bag of nuts.
If you could get him for a rookie quarterback salary, sign me up.
Yep.
But not for $30-40 million. You're gonna make him. You're getting rid of Kyler to go to another $30-40 million guy with it's unproven. Makes zero sense. Robert says, I'd rather have Cousins for a year than backup for the Hammond Bears. That's the other thing. You can't go with an unproven guy if you're the Cardinals, man. You just can't. The most unproven you can go, in my eyes, is Malik Willis. You can't go with the backup kid that hasn't played at all.
Right.
You might as well draft somebody at that point and say we're rebuilding for the next 4 years. And as you heard from Monty earlier, it's a little both. Don't forget, text us 623-252-6670, or of course hit us up at TME Sports Show on X as well. We see them like Robert has done this morning as well. Appreciate you, Robert, as well on that side. When we come back, I tell you what, before we go to break here, let's get a little bit serious. And I'm being serious. We're going to get serious. Like, I know you guys are like, oh, Steve's always saying get serious, and he's a big goober. No, let's get serious for a minute. Rondale Moore, of course, over the weekend, took his own life. 2 other football players have taken their own lives on the NFL side. Now you see like Robert Carradine, the actor, Revenge of the Nerds, most famously, back in the day, done a lot of other stuff recently. Younger kids know him and stuff like that. Takes his life. I think it was yesterday as well, type of a situation. Martin Short's daughter, 42-year-old daughter, takes her life yesterday. There's an epidemic going on out there. And then it's not, I'll just say it this way. The sports community in high school yesterday lost somebody also yesterday. I don't have all the facts on it, so I'm going to be careful on how I phrase this. But a high school softball coach, among other things, left us yesterday as well. And the Seattle Seahawks have come out, and they said they want to do a mental health awareness. They want to get in front of this. They want to make sure that when their players are injured or their players aren't in the team anymore, they're being checked on, that type of stuff. So they're kind of taking the lead. The NFL, everybody, because there's an epidemic going on out there. It's not just sports, actors, high school coaches. We got to figure this out. We got to figure it out quickly because it is becoming every day that this is happening. Dale, I don't know how to solve it. I'm not smart enough to solve it. But at least from a professional standpoint, a college standpoint, right? We've had some college kids, high-level college football players do the same thing. We've got to get a system in place for people to help them out in their time of need and not just throw them aside because you're done with them on the sports field.
It's fascinating that you bring that up because there's so many emotions that I've been through. And, I played for 17 years. I've seen a lot of guys when they come and go through the league through my career.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that nobody ever I'm just talking about professional football now. Again, you're talking about a lot of walks of life.
It's just happening everywhere, yes.
Yeah. Which is the truth. Nobody and nothing prepares you for when you play your last game. And by that I mean if say you play 5 years in the National Football League, that means you played 4 years of college, 4 years in high school, 4 or 5 years in college, and 5 years in the NFL. So say it's 15 years.
Yeah.
Everything is planned for you. You have your once the regular season starts, this is your schedule: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Off season, you're to report now. You're supposed to start working out now. You're supposed to do this. You hit this target, that target. Everything is, and that's why just in your playing days, when you have a bye week, coaches get scared to death because now all of a sudden you got free time, and so many guys don't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
Now fast forward that to when you get cut and you're not playing anymore.
Yeah. Or even injured and you
can't play anymore.
But it's even people don't realize this. What you do to get ready to play in the season, like in Rondale Moore's case, blows out his knee in the first preseason game last year. The year before in Atlanta, he did the same thing. He's been working for 4 or 5 months to get ready to play a season, and boom, it's over in a second.
4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah, it's over in a second.
And again, there's a couple different ways your career can end. It can end because of injuries and because you're old and because you're not talented enough. But what I'm saying is there's no classes provided. There's nothing that is said, okay, so that first year when you're done playing, if you don't have a transition plan, you don't have a wife, if you don't have something, you can get lost.
Well, even then with a wife,
you can
all of a sudden your wife's there all the time. I don't mean that negatively, but I mean, it's a different attitude. Yeah.
At least she can keep an eye on you, and if something's going awry, hey, try and get you up. But what I'm saying is nobody prepares you for that first year out. Now, when I was cut, I kind of sometimes say I retired.
Just say you retired.
Yeah,
you were done anyway.
I got a call from Jerry.
He left you on a voicemail.
Yeah. No, he actually talked to me.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
He actually talked to me. But this is 2001, and we had a cookie store. We had 2 young kids. We had so many things that I was immersed in immediately that the transition was a little bit easier. That doesn't mean that one times where I missed it.
Yeah.
But there's got to, and again, it's not going to. You just brought this up, so now I'm thinking on the run. It's not going to alleviate everything.
No.
But if you start preparing guys, just like financial.
That's the point.
Those things, do it while you're playing.
It's the mental. But not only that, Dale, and I know you played, let's be honest, you played in some heavy-duty, high-pressure situations in your career.
Mm-hmm.
To go from that to, I'm running a cookie store. And some person's yelling at you because you put too much sugar in the sugar cookies and it's too sugary, and you're like, I want a Super Bowl. What are you doing yelling at me right now? I'm using you just as an example there, but No, that's there. These leagues, I know we talked about a lot of different stuff. I don't know how actors can solve it. I don't know how that type of thing can solve it. But in terms of the professional athlete side of it, man, you've got to start looking out for these people and stop discarding them when you're done.
Well,
we're done with
we
you.
talked about it when it happened during the season. What about the Dallas Cowboy defensive end?
Yeah, right in the middle of the season.
Young guy.
The Atlanta Falcons kid that just came off almost Rookie of the Year, and now he's fighting with the police, with his girlfriend, and then ends up in a fight with the police. Ruined his career now and everything. He's in the league.
Yeah.
How is there not a way to check up on him and do that type of stuff when I hate to say it, what they're going through?
Well, I'm going to tell you this.
To an extent.
Because guys, and this is all guys, save for a few, you're brought up, you're taught, you're whatever, to not show your feelings.
Especially football.
Especially because it's a masculine sports, type A personalities. And if you show, most guys are taught, if you show emotions or how you're feeling, that's weak. That's a weakness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially
in football.
It's kind of like with this whole concussion thing. It's taken like 15 years for people to understand, hey, no, this isn't we used to call it, you got dinged.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How many fingers am I holding up? 3. Close enough. Let's get him back out there. Here's some smelling salts.
Here's some smelling salts and get back. But it took forever because you were taught you're out there no matter what. And I was out there.
And if you're not out there, you might not have a job the next day.
And that's the threat out there also. But, I mean, I played in 2 or 3 ball games where literally I'm watching the film the next day and I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
But yet your body still performs.
But that's why, to me, at least from a professional sports aspect of it, you've got to take care of these guys on the backside because what there's enough evidence from Junior Seau back in the day to as guys get older. Now I get it. Some people do it because they're just tired of hurting all the time and they're 70-something years old. And
that's different than 28, 27,
that's the difference. When you're seeing these young people doing it.
That Dallas Cowboy defensive end, he had a return for a touchdown the night or two before that.
Days before that, yeah. Rondale Moore talked to, and people go, well, you got to talk to somebody. He was talking to Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray leading up to it and everything, where Hollywood Brown was talking to him that day earlier, and stuff like that. But you're not close to the guys. He's in Indiana and wherever Hollywood Brown's at and stuff like that. But we've got to figure that out because there's an epidemic going on out there. And the gentleman I'm talking about here in high school, I'm sure it'll come out here over the next day or so and stuff like that. He's well liked, older, had grandkids. We've met him and stuff like that effect and everything. And it's just whatever reason he decided. And it's just like, there's got to be way as a society, let alone in sports. Checking up on people isn't good enough anymore.
No.
Because they'll lie to you. And we see that with Rondale Moore, for instance. The Cowboys kid. He was in the locker room, and nobody in that locker room went, hey, we need to watch him.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you come over to my place for the weekend? Let's hang out for the next couple of days, anything to that effect.
Right.
It didn't trigger anybody's mind to do it. Hollywood Brown had no clue what Rondale Moore was about to do. So it's more than just checking on people. And especially in an environment like you said, I'm not saying you got to do it for the next 40 years, but young kids, injury prone, whether they're playing or not, police officers have to go through this, for instance.
Yeah.
They constantly go through mental checks. Some of them pass them when they shouldn't. Let's be honest about it. But the NFL's got to step up. NBA's got to step up. NHL's got to step up, and you've got to protect these kids not just while they're in your league. That's the disappointing part. These kids are in the league.
Right.
But then also when they leave out of it on that side. We got to figure it out because, folks, it's every day we're waking up to something else happening like this. And I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm just tired of hearing about it. And we got to figure out a way as a society to figure it out. I'm not smart enough to do it. I'm throwing it out into the world of we've got to figure this out because I'm tired of hearing it. Like I said, David Carradine, I've read that he was sick and, he didn't want to go through the long illness. It was going to somebody else I know did it because they got Lou Gehrig's disease. Oh, no, it wasn't him. It was another actor. Got Lou Gehrig. Yeah, he is an actor. He got Lou Gehrig's disease. He's had it for a year. He saw the downhill coming, and he went, I'm not going through that. That's a different situation in my eyes. I still would prefer you not do that, but I can understand that. These young kids, though, it's just what is happening because they get bad news or they're feeling left out. It's got to be hard. Rondale Moore, right? Always the star, always there. People cheering for him all the time. Rock stars do this. They get off the stage and now they go in a room and they just feel so alone because they just had 80,000 people cheering their name and singing along to the song they wrote. And then they're in the hotel room. That's why they do the drugs and all that stuff. They get in that hotel room and they're just, I'm alone.
What makes me feel normal? Well, this.
Yeah. We just, as a society, I didn't mean to go heavy on you guys, but it's been bothering me. Then I got the news this morning of what happened yesterday at a local high school as well. And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
What is happening? And it's just, as a society, man, let's check on everybody. Let's figure it out on how to make sure that we are following up with people and making sure that the help is out there for them. And stuff to that effect, because we need to see that part of it end in the levels we're seeing it right now.
And there might not be an answer, but somebody in a place of influence needs to start asking questions.
Yes.
And again, you're not going to come up with an idea, and that's going to end everything.
Every situation's different.
But once you start asking questions, things tend to now come out. And I'm not talking about me sensing something in you and asking. I'm talking about let's throw something against a wall and see if that sticks.
Because it's whatever we're doing now is not working, type of a thing. So sorry to get heavy on you guys. I know we don't like to do that here. We like to keep it fun, but it has been bothering me lately. And then this morning I got the official news, and it's just terrible, to hear this stuff. And especially, like I said, some situations you're like, I can understand that. But we got to figure this out. So put it out there today for you guys as well, out there in the world if you're in that environment and things. Because I'm not smart enough to understand it. So we're just going to throw it out there. Hope people hear this to help with those situations. And when we come back, Dale, no easy transition from there. We got to get into the Suns. Come on back, folks. The main event. And we're back here, main event. Woo, appreciate you guys letting me get serious for you on a minute here and everything. And, it's always an uncomfortable situation. But, hey, we got a platform. Sometimes we have to take advantage of it. But, Dale, speaking of, I can't even use my normal terms here because it feels awkward now. But the Suns are in a lot of trouble. Good news is they have 10 games against teams that aren't even trying to win. 10 of their, 25, 24 games left are against teams that don't even want to win out there.
Right.
Bad news is they have no shooters.
Well, they have no shooters on top of the guys that had great first halves of the season. And all of a sudden, it looks like the basket to them is a golf hole.
Yeah. Like, where's Ryan Dunn's offensive game gone?
I think he's lost his confidence.
Yeah.
Well, just watching him, he hesitates.
And on he passed the ball, not last night's game, the game before. He passed a wide open shot off instead of taking it, kind of a situation and stuff. 2 points last night for him. Oh, that was that was the Timberwolves game. That was the game that he passed the ball around and didn't want to shoot. That's what you're talking about, though. The guys you need to step up aren't stepping up.
Well, remember the games when Mark Williams beating all the other big men down the court?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They've lost.
He'd have 20, 22, 24 points. He'd have 14, 12 rebounds.
Yeah.
Last night, his stat line, he scored 2 points and what did he have? He had 5 rebounds.
Yeah. No, this team, about 3 weeks before the All-Star game? That's why I said they need to get to this All-Star game, need to get away from basketball.
Yep.
I meant get away without doing stuff to get yourself injured. But, hey, I didn't specify. It's my fault. But, yeah, they aren't the same team. Does that mean they're just tired? The mental toughness? Are they all dealing with injuries and not able to do it? That's a possibility this time of year. And so this team is completely different. And the good news is they built up a big enough lead that they're going to make the playoffs, or at least the play-in game, which I consider the playoffs. Not everybody does. That's the good news.
Right.
They're going to make it. There are teams behind them that just don't want to win. They want to get into the lottery, get the number 1 pick, and move on with their lives.
The heck with the
So they have a big enough thing there.
tanking rules.
But this is going to be an ugly end of the season until they start getting guys back healthy. And even then, I'm not too sure that it's going to turn out right. It's just, like I said, I'll give them the whole first half. You're definitely right. The whole first quarter they played with the Celtics. First half, okay. That second half was. Anybody watching that? I'm sorry for you. If you bought tickets to go to that, and it feels like I'm knocking the Suns here. They can't do anything about it, Dale.
Well, all you got to do is look at the third quarter. Boston scores 30 to the Suns 11.
I can't sit there and go, Dunn needs to shoot more. Fleming needs to shoot more. Malowich needs to get out there and shoot more. It's not going to matter. They're scoring 11 points.
One of the things that jumps out to me is that both of us, and even Bruce when he was in here, just goo gaga over how hard the Suns played.
Yeah.
The defense that they played.
That's what one is.
The way they moved without the ball. All those things were so refreshing the first half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen that lately.
Was it remember that? I don't remember what game it was. I tried to go back through my notes to find it. But remember there was a game where I said what worried me the most in that game was the first time we've seen isolation ball. It was a huge fourth quarter comeback by a team. Was it the Clippers? A team came back on them. They were up by 12-15 with like 2 minutes to go, and they ended up losing the game. And I said the thing that worried me the most about that fourth quarter was it turned into isolation ball.
Yes.
Since then, they've been in isolation ball.
And that is, for them,
most of the time.
For them, that is not a winning combination.
No, they can't win that way.
No.
They can't win that. They got to win with the up and down, physical, up and down the court. But then the other side, Bruce Cooper, and I agree with Bruce on this. I am concerned Jordan Ott is a la Mike D'Antoni. You're a first-year player. I ain't interested in you being on this team. Go sit down on the 12th spot and don't come talk to me. I'm not interested in you playing. Mike D'Antoni was notorious for veterans only on his squad playing.
Yeah, I have heard that.
I'm starting to think Jordan Ott thinks the same thing. What would have mattered in that third quarter when you scored 11 points? Would it have gotten worse if you threw Kobe Bryant out there for more minutes? Malowich out there for more minutes? Would it have hurt? Because you weren't doing anything. You had 11 points, Dale. Would it have hurt? Malowich got 6 minutes yesterday. Kobe Bryant, who Bruce is right, I think it was Kentucky, best three-point shooter in college basketball. And you can't get him out there to launch some threes and try to get you back into this thing and wake people up? Fresh legs, no less. He's not playing a ton. And you don't even think about it? You're hurting your team out there, right? Bouye, 19 minutes last night, 0 points. You mean to tell me that you can't put somebody else out there and give them a shot? When Bouye is out there with 0 points?
19
Really?
minutes.
Oh, what'd I say?
15.
Oh, yeah, 19 minutes, 0 points. Are you kidding me right now? Malowich had 5 points in 6 minutes. It's going bad. It's going sideways.
Yeah. And
Put people in there. Grab people out of the stands and go, hey, buddy, row 4, can you shoot? Get out there. Let's see what you can do.
And we also have to look at the fact that the level of competition has gone up these last couple games.
But that's my point. That's when you throw these guys out there. Melwitz, let's see what you can do against the best of the East. The hottest team in the East right now. Go. So we can coach you on how you play out there.
Who, by the way, didn't play their best player.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown. The Celtics might be better without Brown. I hate to say that to you, Dale, but their stats are pretty dang good without him. But yeah, I don't understand what Jordan Knott's doing. Like, while that game's going on in that third quarter, I'm like, where's all these guys at? Just put them out there for 5 minutes and let them run around. It's not going to matter. You're losing this game. Halfway through the third quarter of the way through the third quarter, I'm like, this game is lost. Do it. Just do it. And they refuse to do it going forward. Now, there might be other reasons why. We don't know why.
Yeah. Well, the last 2 games, they've scored 77 points against Portland. Of course, that was that back-to-back after a double overtime victory over Orlando. They score 81 points against Boston. They got the Lakers tomorrow night.
See, I'm willing to forgive the Timberwolves one because of one of the injuries that happened in the Magic game, but then double overtime on top of it. Like, your legs are just heavy. I don't care.
Yeah.
You can make fun of back-to-back games all you want, how NBA players don't play. I'm sorry. They played a game and a half.
Yeah.
They're going to be tired. I don't care who you are. Even if they were fully healthy, they were coming in tired and stuff to that. But even then, Dale, right? They scored 17 points in that overtime and the 2 overtimes there against the Magic. And they won 113 to 110. So even then, they didn't hit 100 points in that game in regulation.
Right.
They struggled. They were like one of the first teams to win, shooting less than 34% from the field and win the game. They weren't shooting well in that game either. So I said earlier, I'm not worried about the Timberwolves game being the back-to-back. No, it's part of the epidemic here. You can discount it a little bit, but it's part of the academic that's coming up here. What I'm going to say here to you Suns fans and us Suns fans, Dale, and you especially, and Autumn, I hope you're listening because she lives and dies by the Suns. Take a deep breath. It's going to be ugly for the next 10 games minimum till they start maybe getting some guys back healthy. It's going to be ugly.
Well, see, and I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I can see it being ugly on Thursday.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. It's going to be ugly against the good teams. Like they could have caught the Lakers if they were healthy. They're not doing it now.
Right. But they got the Lakers on Thursday, and then they're off till next Tuesday.
But then they're, like I said, I think it's 10 or 11 games against teams that just want to tank.
Chicago, New Orleans, Charlotte.
Chicago will be Chicago trade a lot of their players, actually. They're
Milwaukee
right now, too, yeah.
The next 5, and I think we'll have a little bit of better barometer how long is Booker going to be out.
That's what I mean. Even in this Suns team's iteration, they're not going to win all 10 games against teams that are tanking. I think they'll struggle against a couple of them.
Yeah.
Because of their shooting. But they'll be in the games and they have a chance to beat them. But even if they could win 5 of those games, and then you start getting guys healthy for the last 7 games there going into it. They're making the playoffs. It's just, that's where it just becomes, it's easy, because I have to caution myself on this. It's easy to be disappointed because the Suns, you're like, oh man, they're going to be in a playing game. Because I was convinced they were going to be a 4, 5, or 6 seed before these injuries started happening. So I'm disappointed in what we're about to watch. I thought they'd be a playing game going into the season. So there's no difference in what I thought going into the season. It changed. So we all just need to take a deep breath. It's going to be ugly. Win as many games as you can. The 7 seed looks way better than the 10 seed does. I'll even argue this. They have, 33 wins on the season? The Clippers have 27. They're not falling all the way down to the 10 seed, folks.
Well, the way they finished the season, they got their last 5 games: Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Lakers, Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
Oklahoma City could start their bench,
and they'll still beat half the league. Not just the Suns, half the league with their bench. That's what I'm saying. take a deep breath. They're not playing all world-class teams. They're not going to go 0 for the next 24 or whatever the games they have left. They're going to win some of those games. Now, the trick's going to be win them on the nights the Warriors lose and the Trailblazers and the Clippers lose, They're not falling out of the playoffs. They're going to be a play-in team minimum coming up here. They're going to be. Because the guys outside, Memphis Grizzlies, Mavericks, Jazz, Pelicans, and Kings, they're giving up on the season. They've given up on the season. Doesn't mean they can't beat you, Dale. But if I was the Suns, I'd lose to those teams just to make their draft picks worse. Just to prove
you're going to show them, huh?
I'm going to show them.
But also,
everybody just needs to take a break because it's going to get ugly.
I think so much of this is, and it happens to every fan base. You came in, and back in November, if you said, all right, the Suns are sitting in the 6th playoff spot. Yeah. 7th playoff spot. They've got a pretty much insurmountable lead between 7 and 11.
Yeah.
They were kind of clinging around that 5-6 seed. They were, if you said that in November, you'd go, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But are you being told of all the injuries that have happened?
No, I'm just saying that's awesome.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the first half started.
Yeah.
And they played way better than anybody expected. And now your expectations just kind of naturally start to rise. And so now when they're coming back to where they probably really are, everybody's disappointed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say here. And trust me, I get it. Last night it hit me and I went, oh man, we suck again. And then you have to remind yourself, no, they're actually better than we thought they'd be. And they've given themselves enough of a window that they can go through this stretch here and it's not going to hurt them. They're still going to make the play-in game. I will argue, put the Timberwolves out of it. The Rockets are on a run right now. They're going to be up there. If you can straggle up here and get some guys, Goodwin's not coming back for a while. Booker, we don't know. We evaluate, right, coming up.
Right.
Grayson Allen, you just got to get healthy here coming up. You have those guys, you might still be – I'm telling you guys, if you don't know what's happening with the Lakers, Luka the other night gave up a game-winning three-point shot, passed it to LeBron, who just shanked it. There's something going on in that Lakers locker room with LeBron that they could go sideways quickly. There's still a chance you can get that 6th seed, but you have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. You're going to lose to the Celtics. You're going to lose to the Nuggets. You're going to lose to Houston. You're going to lose to the Thunder. Who cares about those games? Yeah, you're going to lose some of the folks. Does anybody think the Suns are winning a championship this year?
No.
We're just hoping they make the play-in game at the beginning of the season. Make the play-in game. See if you can do something. And if not, oh well, we move on with our lives. You're better than you were last year. Perfect. That's what I'm saying. Take a deep breath because it's easy to watch that product last night and go, oh, no, this seems awful. Fire everybody. Get new players.
That third quarter. Whoa.
It was ugly.
Whoa.
I almost turned back to ASU and Bobby Hurley. I want to see Bobby Hurley pointing again at everybody. That's going to be my new thing when people talk to me. I'm just going to be like,
boy, maybe that's how people think you're talking to them on the phone. That's why he gets mad at you.
Okay, Dale. I hate to wrap up the show in this fashion.
Uh-oh. But you're gonna.
I'm gonna. I have to. Are you worried you haven't heard anything about Merrill Kelly's MRIs yet?
I was thinking about that driving in today. I'm like, whoa. They get MRI results immediately. It's not like you and I. Hey, what do you see on there? Well, I really can't tell you. I got to send it to your doctor.
Yeah,
Got to read.
no. They know exactly.
Yes.
I'll even go a step farther. It was either Lavello yesterday or somebody else said they're doing some more testing on him. Dale, is it full panic time on Merrill Kelly right now?
Well, history from a year ago tells me yes.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. This is the worst possible. When they said second and we don't have results for you yet, oh, dear. I was driving home yesterday with my window down going, ah, ah, ah. Prepare yourself, folks. That's all I'm going to say. Prepare yourself.
And
if it wasn't bad, he's undergoing further testing. Lavello was the one that said it. He's undergoing further testing. It's not good news, man. It's not good news, Dale.
No, there's nothing good about he's undergoing further testing.
No. You look at that MRI and you go, oh, he's healthy. He just needs a couple days off.
Yeah.
I told you I got worried when he himself said, oh, we've been dealing with this for over a week now. Excuse me? That's when I went, oh, something's wrong. And then he said it was moving. Some days it was good. Next day it was bad.
That sounds like my back. I'm 63 years old.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Breathe, guys. But prepare yourself of what's coming here. There cannot be good news coming out.
No.
Even with J-Mart last year, because I was thinking about that. Maybe this is just Jim. Well, they waited too long to get imaging, and then they finally got it, and they go, there's nothing wrong with him. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, he needs a few days. He needs a week off or whatever. And then all of a sudden, he comes back, and then they're like, Tommy John. And he ended up not doing Tommy John. It was a variation of it, but still an invasive surgery where he's out for a year. The second Merrill Kelly goes, my back's a little sore. Hey, why don't you go lay down on this table that moves in here and don't have any metal on you real quick? Instantly, you send him in there to do that, Dale. You don't let him pitch for another week.
Steve, do you know how expensive MRIs
You know
are
what?
without insurance?
You know what, Diamondbacks? I'll pay for it. I will pay for it myself. What's the deductible? I'm tired of it. Further testing, including a CT scan.
Ooh.
There's only one reason to do a CT scan, Dale. What is it?
Well, they're fearing there's a lot more going on.
There's serious tissue and structure problems. Is what that tells you. It tells you they're afraid that there's that.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way. CT scan only tells you one thing. It confirms the damage that the MRI
you're not
hints
sending
at.
in for a CT after MRI. You only do that to confirm that there's a bad diagnosis.
That's what a CT
not
scan
to confirm
does.
a good diagnosis.
Yeah. Oh, your shoulder's good.
Yeah.
We're going to do a CT scan anyway just to confirm it's
Yeah.
good. No. So hold your breath, folks. I'm not a doctor. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn last night. But I heard that yesterday, and I was just like, ooh. And you guys said yesterday Gallen would be the starting pitcher. I don't even know. Is Gallen? I know he was there throwing pretty much quickly after he signed, but has anybody heard anything about Gallen other than his live bullpen sessions?
Well, he's pitching in the backfield, right? So now we get to see him.
See, this is my problem. You know, and they got oh my gosh, they just signed him, the pitcher. They got him up in a game yesterday, Sorokas. And he's going to the World Baseball Classic as well. But he debuted for the Diamondbacks yesterday in a game. I don't know. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with this or anything. It's just every other team that I'm seeing in spring training is putting their starters out there for an inning. You know, just getting them out there just to face live guys in a game. All of that. Diamondbacks aren't doing it. Why are you hiding the guys in the backfields?
Kelly said the tightness feeling showed up after his second bullpen of camp, but that Saturday was as sharp as it felt.
Yep.
The veteran said he'd never experienced that feeling in his back before.
Yep. That was when he was in his locker room. And now a CT scan on top of it.
You know, the first time I felt something in my back, I had to have surgery on L5-S1. Never felt that before.
The fact he said it was moving is what alarmed me, because that tells you nerves or something broke loose in there or something, you know, and it's moving around in there. I know that sounds worse than what it is, but nerves basically, right? Nerves are hitting things that shouldn't be hitting, stuff like that, and you gotta fix that. And then, as far as I know, there's only one way to fix it.
You can't chiropractic it.
Miyagi it. So no, that's my big thing there on the Diamondbacks deal. This is becoming alarming. And why is it alarming, Dale? Because we've been through this with the Diamondbacks before.
Yes.
We've been through this exact situation.
And we were kind of happy
times.
that Troy Lovello had been very leadership oriented and said, "I'm naming our opening day starter."
And now he's going to have to change it. I told you that question. I'm telling you, if you're out at camp every day and you're around the team, you get fed stuff or you hear stuff.
Yes.
That question was asked, and I said that yesterday with Bruce Cooper here. That question was asked of, have you thought about changing your opening starter? Because somebody had heard something about second testing and all that. We're all not stupid. We know what second. I've never had a doctor go, "Oh, Steve, that ankle of yours, it's swollen to a thing," and everything. So we did an MRI and it's just swollen. Here's your meds. It'll take down the swelling. You'll be all good in a couple weeks. And then they go, "Yeah, but we're going to send you in for some other tests, just in case." No, they go, "Hey, why don't you come back if it still hurts in a week or so? But it'll be fine." All right, thanks, Doc. Full panic mode. Full panic mode coming. But that's the other side of it. I get it. Bullpen sessions, you're not on the pitch clock. You're facing live batting. Ryan Thompson was the guy that was the pitcher that took one off his back or his neck after throwing a pitch in bullpen. So I get it, right? You're back there. You could probably take your time between pitches, a little bit more and stuff like that. So it is different than a game.
Right.
But you're still throwing a lot. You'll throw less in a game, actually, in theory, because you can take them out at any time than the bullpen session and stuff like that. So, yeah. Tyler Locklear, left elbow inflammation for him. He had surgery on both the left shoulder and elbow during the offseason as well. So they're saying mid-May, early June for him. Adrian Del Castillo, left cap. He's expected to return in April for him. He's a young guy, a catcher, but he could be a DH and is a huge bat for this team. And then you got the guys that we already know about that are hurt, possibly coming back during the season and stuff like that. But Dale, give us something positive to end the show on, because I couldn't help it, folks. I tried not to do it. But there's no positivity on the D-backs with Merrill Kelly, in my opinion.
And
you want us to lie to you and say everything's going to be great? I'll do that. But that's not why you watch us. Maybe it is why you watch us. Maybe you want more of that. Send it in and let me know if you want more of that. Let me know.
You can't start the season like this, Steve.
No, that's the problem. Sal Frank. The guys, okay, I don't even want to put it in their universe. Guys are about to go play the World Baseball Classic. Whether they play well in it or not. They're going to go into an environment. I don't know how to explain this, but I'm going to try my best to explain. They're going to go into an environment where their competitive juices are going to fire up. It's for your country. We just saw this on the Olympics. Record number of people watched that men's hockey game on Sunday. Early morning game. Record number of people watched it. But you're leaving spring training where you have an attitude in the Diamondbacks camp of, we're going to ramp up into the season. Take your time. It's a long season. We're going to ramp up into it. You're going to go from that environment to, we got to go win this thing. Woo! World Series type environment here. Playoff environment.
You think that's going to wash in the World Baseball Classic?
Yeah.
Coach, my left butt cheek's a little sore.
Nobody's saying that in there. Then you're going to come back to the environment of, that's all right, guys. We have a long season ahead of us. Take your time, ramp up. We're going to dial you back because of how much you played in the WBC. So we're going to dial you back so you're fresh going into the season, and you'll be healthy in May, June, and July when we need you the most. This can't be good for you. 20.7 million viewers tuned into for that gold medal game. Dale was not. Dale, it could have been 20.7 plus 1 million viewers if you would have gotten out of bed early. The thing that's most impressive about that is it was 6 a.m. start time for us, 5 a.m. in the Western, in the Pacific time zone.
Yeah.
On top of it, that's pretty impressive numbers there as well.
Yes.
Only the 2010 gold medal game drew a larger audience, and that was 27.6 million viewers at that time as well for them. So yeah.
USA.
Yeah. Did you really quick? The Army-Navy game might be moving to Thanksgiving weekend. You on board with that?
Why?
So it would count toward the conference title race and a potential CFP inclusion. I'm going to argue this point, and I'm sorry, Army, Navy. I apologize for being the guy to bring this up. I'm going to apologize to you right now. Don't bomb my house, please. You're never that good to where you're in CFP inclusion. Why is that even a concern?
Yeah, that's very interesting. It's just because that's one of the traditions in college football. That's Heisman Trophy Day.
Well, the other reason is because they want to talk about moving it up to give more, because you can't play any other game on that Saturday. You can't. Sacrilegious. Right. It's going to allow the expansion playoffs to play that weekend. So it's going to give them another weekend to factor in if they move that to Thanksgiving. Two things on that. It diminishes the quality of that game. Are you going to watch Army Navy when you have the other holiday?
When you have a Texas A&M or
Are you going to watch it that weekend? If anything, put it conference championship weekend. Fit it into that weekend. Because there's only 4 major games that weekend. Factored in that. At a minimum. I don't like that at all. I don't like it at all, so I wanted to get your thought. I think you diminish that game. People aren't going to tune into it. I'm not going to lie to you. I turned into that game because, one, it's the only game on and the pageantry and everything.
Yes.
But if there's another game that weekend, a rivalry game, I don't know, ASU U of A, I'm not paying attention to that game as well as I would if it was on a standalone thing. I think you're doing a disservice.
Yes.
And to say, I believe the CFP one more, where it gives flexibility to the expansion there, more than I do a possible Look, an Army-Navy team is not going to ever make the playoffs, in my opinion. As much as we like to say.
Right.
They're not going to be the best group of 5 team out there. Dale, get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody else? I'll see you tomorrow as well. Everybody, McCollum on Business is up here already today, so catch that on demand. We'll get this up on demand as well on the YouTube podcast system and everything. Thanks for letting me get serious a little bit today. I promise it won't happen again anytime soon unless it's needed. Don't make me do it, folks. Come on back. We'll see you tomorrow.